Especially with here, share your space with you. Color tie, Muay Thai, I wanna lie with you. I wouldn't lie to you. I'm the truth. Get my full mount, side mount, what do? I wanna take you, controlled by the wrist. We can go rounds 3, 4, 5, 6 in the clinch. Yeah, we in the clinch, baby. Best believe me, we in the clinch. You and I, we in the clinch, baby. Say what you say. Oops! Of all that? Yeah, yes. Yes, up off that. Welcome to a special edition of ShowBizz, the morning podcast. It's Tyson Bell. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, the adult. All right, man, look at who we have here. Who do we have up here? Sahara, what's going on with you? Young King. What's going on? Gee. Whoops. All right, man. Lord. First, I want to say this. Hit the Tyson Bell. Farewell, Manny Pacquiao. Let's do this right. Farewell, Manny Pacman Pacquiao. Hit the Tyson Bell. No matter what happens after this, his decisions in the ring after this, I will see this as the farewell Manny Pacquiao fight. Okay? Hit the Tyson Bell. I have a few of those. I really have a few of those. One, when Muhammad Ali beat Spence and he gave that kiss, though he fought Larry Holmes after that, though he fought Burbick after that, I always saw that as the farewell to Muhammad Ali. Let me see what y'all got to say. Hit the Tyson Bell. Adrian Wells, what's going on with you? Leg cramps from drinking them energy drinks. I think Manny should fight one more time. Hit the Tyson Bell. I don't think so. I don't think Manny Pacquiao should. Maybe he gets a win here and there, but it's not Manny. Okay. He deserves the slow clap for sure. Victor has to finish. Oh yes. I wonder why would you shoot him out before throwing him from? Let's give him that slow clap. Manny Pacquiao, man, giving us great fights, man. Great fights. I know a lot of you guys are in the war room. I want to say this. This should not be a hostile situation. Manny Pacquiao's all-time great fighter icon. If you love boxing, if you love what the sport is all about, if you don't appreciate Manny's career, what he did last night, okay. But I would think it would be all the way around. Everybody just celebrating the career of Manny Pacquiao. But this is the war room. Hit the Tyson Bell. And if there's some hostility, let it out. Okay, we're going to talk about everything when it comes to Manny Pacman Pacquiao, how you guys feel. I've heard many things all over my social media, my Instagram, DMing me, emails, in my comments for my live stream yesterday. I read a few of those. People are just all over the place when it comes to this fight with Manny Pacman Pacquiao versus Yordenis Ugas. Things that he said, right? The leg cramps, 60-40. He doesn't know if he's going to retire. All those things. I want to say this too. I do want to say this. There were a lot of people who were saying, ShowBizz, you seemed a little biased when calling the Manny Pacquiao fight. Were you biased? In calling the fight? No. Yordenis Ugas, like I said, I called it right down the middle. It's just straightforward. I thought Yordenis Ugas won by even more rounds. Okay, but I think Manny Pacquiao caught up, and then around like 8, 9, something like that, Yordenis Ugas took it away. As far as calling the fight, no, I wasn't biased. As far as who I wanted to win, of course I was biased. But it changed. I wanted Manny Pacquiao to win for sure. But once Yordenis Ugas really won, I wanted the winner to win for the sake of the sport. I always put boxing over boxer. I don't care if it's Manny Pacquiao, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., Muhammad Ali. The sport of boxing, I put over boxer 100%. I wanted the guy who won to get the victory. That's no fair to boxing, no fair to boxing fans, no fair to the fighter who put so much out there. Yordenis Ugas had to switch just like Manny Pacman Pacquiao. Okay. Yordenis Ugas 4-0 now as a late replacement. So shout out to Yordenis Ugas doing a good thing. Errol the True Spence tweeted, good shit, Yordenis Ugas. So even Errol the True Spence had to appreciate what Yordenis Ugas did, taking away the night that Errol the True Spence won it, the moment Errol the True Spence won it, to send Manny Pacman Pacquiao on his way, or at least begin that. Yordenis Ugas was a replacement, did that instead of Spence, and Spence still, like a gladiator, like a warrior, like a man, said good stuff. All right. Errol the True Spence also said, you know, when he had the injury, one of the first things he said was, I'll take on the winner. He didn't say Pacquiao. He didn't say Ugas. He said, I'll take the winner. So he thought that, hey, man, Ugas definitely has a chance. Let's see what you guys say. Farewell, Manuel. Oh, Pacquiao. Nice. Hit the Tyson Bell. Never knew his real name, actually. That's sickening. I didn't know that. People were chanting Manny on his way out the arena because that's what greatness is about. And I told you guys before. What people love more than a hero is what? Everybody in the war room. Let me know. I've said it a million times. What do people love more than a hero? Let me get my black 2 sugars. What do people love more than a hero? You dropped the ball again. Who did? A legend, a warrior, a hero that dies trying. A hero who dies trying. Hit the Tyson Bell. When you see a hero against all odds, put everything out there for the people, for himself, for his family, okay, it's inspiring when he goes up against something that is too steep. And it's not just the other guy. It's not just Yordenis Ugas. It's Father Time, that invisible thing, okay? That thing that beats everybody. In Father Time, the thing, the force that you don't see, that wears everyone out, that gravity that keeps you grounded, that gets heavier and heavier and heavier. All right. He lost against Father Time. He lost against Yordenis Ugas. Hit the Tyson Bell. Another thing, fallen soldier, 100%. Let me see. The villain. No. The one who dies trying, the underdog. Let me see. Somebody said this. Okay, what is this about? Bro, you dropped the ball again. What is this about? Denzel Brown, best name in the world. Go up to a lady. Next Friday night. Oh, if you married, that's how you got married. Hey, how you doing? I'm Denzel Brown. And you? Let me see. Better matchup, Ugas versus Crawford or versus Spence. Wow. Crawford messed around, knocked that dude out, man. If you want to talk about who, because I love knockouts. If you want to talk about who will have a for sure KO, Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford will have the for sure KO, even over Errol Spence. Errol Spence can knock him out too, but nobody has knocked out Ugas. Terrence Crawford probably would. Now, that's the one thing I'll say about Terrence Crawford. If he's fighting you, he's going to knock you out. He's going to try to knock you out, bro. So Yordenis Ugas will have to pack some heavy hands to persuade, to convince Terrence Bud Crawford to not viciously try to KO him. Hit the Tyson Bell. Now that's the black 2 sugars. Let me see. Victor has defeated you. Oh, yes, I wonder. Why would you shoot him on before throwing him from the ball? Ugas looked like a dang middleweight. Oh, yeah. Last night, I told you he was going to rehydrate 16 pounds. That's what he does. He could have been every bit of 160. Oh, yeah, he was 162, 163 easily. He came in 147 on the nose, okay? But that's what you do, all right? Everybody's doing that. Then Ugas can donate some earnings to me. Funny. Let me see. LOL Biz Crawford can KO Fury. I don't know what that means. ShowBizz, the next boxing voice. Next boxing voice of YouTube TV, my man. Biz, I won some good money betting on Ugas. There you go. Hit the Tyson Bell. Do you go to Go to busr.com/showbiz. Place bill your favorite fights. Oh, yes. That's what I was going to say real quick before I go into other things. How did I drop the ball? Biz, your commentary had me rolling. How did I drop the ball? Don't just talk. This was somewhat like Ali versus Holmes. A little bit closer to, I don't know, Roy Jones, Joe Kawasaki. We'll talk about those things. Pacquiao complaining in his corner after round 3 that his legs were cramping. That's called age. That's what I'm talking about with age. See, I'm not saying that you get old, so you just, what'd you say? That's not what I'm saying when you get old. I'm saying you get little things starts to happen. Oh, my arm's starting to hurt. My shoulder's starting to hurt. My legs starting to cramp to where I can't move them. The bottom of my feet, my arch is dropping. That's age. Not you just get old. You just, old happens, like you see old. Oh, that's old. He's just moving slower. No. Age is you look good for moments. That's aging. You look good for moments. But how about all 12 rounds exerting the energy you used to exert? You start feeling things in your lower back. Things start hurting. That's aging. And that's what that was. So after Manny retires and start doing exhibition matches, what will be said? Will it be acceptable then? No one knows what you're talking about, okay? So we'll get there too. If you're trying to have some kind of Floyd victory based on something that hasn't happened yet. So you're saying we know Floyd fought tension. We know Floyd fought Logan Paul. So when Manny, we don't know anything. Manny hasn't fought anybody, any exhibition bouts. He hasn't fought a YouTuber. Now you're just trying to come up with a make-believe fantasy situation in order to bring Floyd and Manny closer? Or, hey, you're already biased because you're not judging something. You're not prejudging Manny on something that hasn't happened yet. Why don't we talk what has happened? That's better. Let me see. What else we got? Let me see. I was behind Ugas 100%, but the courage Manny showed today amidst extreme adversity was pure and beautiful. Hit the Tyson bell. 100%. Let me see. Do you think ring rust played a factor for Manny? Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, it did. But he's old. That's it. That's his last go, bro. If not, it should be. If not, I will always consider it as his last go. Everything else from here is really downhill in an accelerated way. And that's the thing that we had to take into account. I told you guys before, Manny Pacquiao to me is still a human being. I know when I said Errol Spence will beat the hell out of him. And I said, if Manny beats, see, this is why, and a lot of people didn't understand what I was saying. This is why I said if Manny Pacquiao beats Errol Spence, he's the greatest fighter ever. And everybody was so busy trying to debate me on who's the greatest ever, they didn't hear what I was saying. No one does that. If he were to beat Errol Spence, that's the greatest fighter ever. No one at 42 years old, undersized, would beat that guy. He's still human to me. Remember, I said I am making the huge mistake of thinking that Manny Pacquiao is organic and a human being. Remember, he's of nature. There was no way I thought Errol Spence would beat the hell out of him. Why? Because it's natural. So that's why I was saying what I was saying. Oh, ShowBizz, he makes Manny Pacquiao greater than the great Sugar Ray. He would have been. That's insane. But we'll talk more about that. Salam, brother. I could not find the pay-per-view here yesterday. But of course, I watched you and brother Black Sun. Did Pacman officially retire yesterday? No, he didn't. He said 60-40. He said 60-40. Kind of like you did with Fury and AJ, right? No. Fury and AJ was in negotiations for the fight to actually happen. It was a realistic negotiation. I was reporting those things, and I was thinking that the fight was going to happen based on reporting. What you're doing is just pulling something out your ass. Manny Pacquiao didn't say that he had an exhibition about coming. He's not even, we don't know if he's going to fight ever. He's talking about running to be president in the Philippines. You're just being stupid. What I was doing was basing it off of reports that I was receiving. Two different things. Two totally different things. And you try to have a gotcha moment and it make you look even dumber. All right. So just be real. When you're trying to overcompensate for these feelings you're having, it makes you look bad. When you try to talk to somebody who's rational and logical, it's going to make you look bad. So just stay logical, stay on things that you can measure. What else we got? So look, a few things here. So that's what I meant when I said Manny Pacman Pacquiao, if he beats Slow Clap, if he beats Errol the True Spence, he's the greatest ever. You just cannot do that. And if you can, you're the greatest. Right? Hit the Tyson Bell. But was going to fight Conor, huh? Did he fight Conor? Last time I saw, he signed to fight Terrence Crawford. Last time I saw, he was going to fight Errol the True Spence August 21st on pay-per-view. Last time I saw, he fought Yordenis Ugas. Last time I saw, Floyd actually fought Logan Paul. Right? Conor McGregor and Manny Pacquiao were whispers. Fury and AJ was signed. Talk about two separate things. Wake up. You're having a horrible time. Okay, talk to somebody else in the war room. Not here. Let me see. Pacquiao may leave boxing, but his legacy lives forever. Mark has potential. Oh, yeah, as a great Filipino boxer, ring the Tyson Bell for the Filipinos. Much love to you. Hold on real quick. Another one. Manny Pacquiao, the last of the people's champ like Ali. He will be greatly missed. You know, a lot of people keep comparing Manny Pacquiao. My man said, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Yeah. Keep comparing Manny Pacquiao to Muhammad Ali. That's huge. I want to say this as far as Manny Pacquiao and his legs cramping. Okay. And Father Time. All right. Manny Pacquiao lost last night. And that is exactly what makes him great. Okay. What makes him great is the loss. Is pushing himself to go up against something that he very possibly can't beat under circumstances that you don't do at 42 years old. He had a late replacement, all those things. He went after the title. Manny Pacquiao is getting it out the mud. That's what great fighters do, right? And then they fail at defeating a person that in their prime they would have smashed. Maybe the Manny Pacquiao who fought Keith one time, Thurman, just that Manny Pacquiao would have beaten him, right? It's that bow. Remember Sugar Ray Robinson last fight in the robe and a hand wraps and he gave that bow in the middle of the ring? It's that moment. It's Henry Armstrong last fight. It's Willie Pep, how he was looking towards the end. It's Muhammad Ali, right? Telling Larry Holmes to come on and trying to do the rope-a-dope. It's when Joe Calzaghe was taunting Roy Jones. And when you look at Manny Pacquiao and we look at his speed, my middle brother, ShowBizz brother, I love you, boy. He said to me one time, I was such a big Roy Jones Jr. fan. I said, Roy Jones going to beat Joe Calzaghe. He beat Felix Trinidad. Sante, Ugas looked as sharp as Laura did to Canelo. He looked sharper. Laura was running away from Canelo after a while. Ugas stood there. My brother said, I was like, look how fast Roy Jones' hands are. My brother said, look, yeah, I see how fast his hands are. How fast are his feet, though? When you get old, your feet goes. That's what goes. And Manny Pacquiao couldn't understand why my feet, they were moving well in sparring. My feet were moving well in training camp. Why they're in the mud now? Hit the Tyson Bell. That's what happens. But here's the funny part that you have to put an asterisk. Manny Pacquiao could have overtrained. When you think of Manny Pacquiao versus Errol the True Spence, Errol the True Spence overtrained. Errol the True Spence was quiet and pushing himself to a crazy level to beat Manny Pacquiao. Now, in hindsight, looking back, Errol didn't have to train that hard to beat Manny. Yordenis Ugas didn't train for Manny. He had a week and he beat Manny. Errol Spence was pushing himself to take on a god. It was his perception of Manny and the perception of the moment. I have to beat this guy and I have to look great. He had suffered a tear in the retina. Manny Pacquiao training for Errol Spence. He said himself, this is going to be the hardest fight of my life. It's something how Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao were training for each other. It is something. Either way, Yordenis Ugas won fair and square. Okay. Looked great against Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao didn't look good. Didn't have the lateral movement. He's getting old. All right. But when Manny Pacquiao said that he suffered from cramps, Errol versus Manny was going to be one-sided. Agreed. When Manny Pacquiao said that he was suffering from cramps and that 60-40, he may return. That's not the best news to hear if you're a Manny Pacquiao fan. As a pundit, as a boxing analyst, it's my responsibility to start saying out loud to all you guys. There's over 1,000 people, 1,100 people in here. Everybody hit the like button. It is my responsibility to say out loud on a platform like this, on a big platform, Manny Pacquiao, you should retire. That question, my legs were cramping. What if I had better legs? Would I have won? That is what all great fighters do. All great fighters do that. Let me read you something. It's from Dark Trade, Donald McCrae. Okay. One of my favorite books. So hold on. Let me read this real quick. Congratulations to Ugas. I call this biz. Manny is great. Time is undefeated. Ugas beats him all day. Too big, educated jab, high IQ, bad matchup. Hit the Tyson Bale. Bad matchup for that Manny. Yes. What I saw was Manny that couldn't go side to side. Any younger Manny would have beaten Ugas. But here we go. Tyson was morally and monetarily bankrupt. Okay. And only a few weeks earlier, Frank Bruno had joined the forlorn ranks of fallen heavyweights when he was sanctioned under the Mental Health Act and confined to an East London hospital. Boxing gets everyone. This is what Evander Holyfield said. I feel compassion for them all, especially Bruno. I've met him and he's a good man. Fighters find it hard. To give up doing what they do best, fighting for a living. Bruno loved to train and to keep himself in shape. And in that sense, we're alike. So maybe I can tell him that boxing is only one aspect of life. Manny Pacquiao. Okay? Holyfield's saying this to Bruno, but I'm saying this to Manny. Holyfield's words. Boxing is only one aspect of life. Is gone, but as a man, he should draw on virtues he found in the ring. I want him to pray rather than surrender. That's the best advice I can give. Now listen to this. This is what Evander Holyfield says immediately after that. Listen to what Evander Holyfield says. Meanwhile, people want to decide my life for me. Hold on real quick. People want to decide my life for me. They keep reminding me that I'm turning 41 next month. They keep telling me boxing is a brutal business. Man, do they think I don't know that? I had my ear chewed off and spat on the ground in front of me. I've seen everything it is possible to see in boxing. I know this business better than anyone, so I live and die by my own decisions. Holyfield is thinking great for Bruno. Boxing is only one aspect of life. Bruno, don't worry about it. But for himself, he's crazy. People telling me I'm turning 41. Man, I do what I want to do in my own business. It's Pacquiao. That's mostly every fighter to ever live, outside of Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather, Rocky Marciano, Joe Calzaghe, outside of those guys. Holyfield, Manny Pacquiao, Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones Jr., Iron Mike Tyson. Those guys are crazy. And you got to be crazy to fight. And they were crazy good. They had a crazy careers, legacy. Everybody, millions of people screamed their names for years. Holyfield can look at Bruno as a sane individual and tell Bruno in a mental hospital, boxing is only one aspect of life. Pray. But for himself, when he look in the mirror, nobody could tell me what to do. It's my own business. This makes Pacquiao performance versus Thurman even more special. Glad to have been around to see it. Hey, nice work last night, Biz. Thank you so much. Hit the Tyson bell. Me, my wife, and my kid always listen to ShowBizz, watching since you had 10K sub. Thank you. Much love from the Philippines. Always telling facts, Biz. Thank you so much. So what does that mean? What does that mean when it comes to Manny Pacman Pacquiao? What did he say? My legs were cramping. I wasn't 100%. I didn't have a full training camp against Yordanis Ugas. There you go. There you go. That man should retire. Boxing is only one aspect of life. Manny Pacquiao, you got your cheers. They love you, Manny. And the Philippines need you. You already impacted the hearts, inspired the lives of tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people throughout your entire career. You can impact them as a politician, senator, president. When they asked about Manny Pacquiao running for president, the crowd erupted. They're going to erupt now, more now than if he would have won. Why? Because what people love more than a hero is a hero who dies trying. Hit the Tyson bell. Your definition of greatness explicitly excludes a guy like Floyd. I wish you were willing to have a real discussion with another pugilist on this. I'll make a huge donation to the channel, but you're hiding. No, thank you so much. But no, I never excluded Floyd as a great. That's where you got wrong. I got Floyd as a top 15, top 12 greatest all-time pound-for-pound fighter. Out of the hundreds of thousands of fighters ever, I got him in the top 15, top 12. What does that mean? He's great. I don't have him as the greatest ever. And that's what you want me to say. I already got him as great. You got to listen. You're so busy wanting me to give him even more credit. I just can't make him the greatest ever. He's just not the greatest ever to me. But I'll tell you why, though. I lost money to Biz. You win some, you lose some. You lost money? I didn't. Don't forget, we didn't lose money. We got our money back. See, I want to say this, too. There's a lot of people who try to troll, okay, this channel. And like my man here, JJ, they don't listen. Spence and Bud missed their chance. Yeah. They don't listen. So for everybody else, Victory has defeated you. Flex on them. Oh, yes. Now it's not the time for fear. That comes later. JJ, you're hilarious, but a yellow chat isn't huge, little buddy. You merely adapted to the dark. I was born in it, raised by it. Let me tell you, what JJ was talking about. What makes a fighter great? Do you know what would have made Floyd as great as Manny Pacquiao, if not greater? You know what would have made Floyd as great as Pacquiao, if not greater? Yeah, Danny. That's why Manny was cheered last night. That's why Manny was cheered last night. Because you shouldn't be fighting at 42 as a welterweight, Manny. Why do you think you're the oldest welterweight champion ever? Because that doesn't happen. You want him to lose, just say it. No, you're not ready. You're not ready. But we can have this debate, but you're not ready. But let me break it down for you. Imagine saying Pacman got washed when the fight was preemptively close, only by 2-3 rounds. Ugas is going to be a problem. His style is one of a kind. See, I give Ugas credit, but I think I don't think Manny or Floyd are top 15, but it comes off like you don't like Floyd. So that's why it's always brought up. Well, Elko, if your feelings are hurt, if it comes off, you got to hear what I say. If you can't hear what a man say and you're going off feelings, it feels like then I can't talk to you man to man. Man to man, you got to hear my words and take my words for what they are. Now, if you're trying to go off feelings and it feels like then we're not having a conversation. You feel what I'm saying? When men sit around the table, that's my word is bond. What's yours? No guy come back and say, but I kind of have a feeling that we don't do that. All right? Man up. These the words. The words I'm saying, that's enough. You gotta listen to them. Let me tell you why a loss would have made Floyd Mayweather greater. All right? Like everybody else was saying. The risk. I love the risk he took with Canelo Alvarez. I love that risk. But more of them. Let me ask you this. Would Floyd Mayweather, would he have fought in Marvelous Marvin Hagler? Let me just ask you. Would Floyd Mayweather, would he have fought Marvelous Marvin Hagler in the twilight of his career? Floyd Mayweather in the twilight of his career, would he have fought Marvelous Marvin Hagler? You tell me, yes or no. I want to hear it. Would he have fought Marvelous Marvin Hagler? Yes or no? BK, Marvelous Marvin Hagler at middleweight, Floyd as a career welterweight, would he have beaten him? I mean, fought him? Yes or no? He would have? Danny, why didn't he fight Triple G? Triple G is no Hagler. Why didn't he fight Triple G? Triple G was right there. Why didn't he fight him? Why didn't he go up to middleweight and fight Triple G? If Hagler was a YouTuber. Huh? Triple G is no Hagler. You say he would have fought Hagler? He didn't fight Triple G. You want to know why he didn't fight Triple G? Because he's not crazy. He didn't fight Triple G because he's not crazy, and I didn't expect him to. Why didn't I expect him to? Because I'm not crazy. But let me let you in on something. Crazy makes you great. And Duran fought Hagler. Hearns fought Hagler. Sugar Ray Leonard was gone for 5 years, came back, fought Hagler at middleweight. He never fought at middleweight ever. And beat Hagler. That's great. Going up against something that you have no business doing. That's why I put those guys above him. You have no business doing what you're doing, Manny. Holyfield, no business doing what you're doing. Sugar Ray Robinson, no business. Those at insane level is what makes them greater to me. If Floyd Mayweather would have took those risks, got his ass just handed to him. If he would have fought Keith one time Thurman instead of Berto, if he would have fought Thurman, Porter, Errol Spence, and just kept fighting as long as he was winning, then I can keep fighting. That's Manny. That's Sugar Ray Robinson. That's Muhammad Ali. That's Sugar Ray Leonard. As long as I'm winning, as long as I can throw my hands, I'll fight them. And here's the thing. It's in Floyd. That's why he fought Logan Paul. Because he got to throw his hands. It's in him like everybody else. Difference between Floyd and everybody else is Floyd wants to do it without the risk. He still wants to throw his hands. That's why he's doing it. Come on, bro. You can't insinuate like I'm less of a man because we don't agree. I didn't say because we don't agree. See, there you go. Not because we don't agree. I said because you said I feel like you. That's it. Hey, you exposing yourself, brother. I didn't say you're less of a man because we disagree. I don't mind disagreeing. That's not what I'm talking about. Brother, just stop. I love the super chats. Thank you so much. But please stop while you're behind. You're exposing yourself real bad. Thank you, Manny, for being great. You still took a challenge anyone else would have denied. Yeah, you fought a middleweight, and all odds against you. Hit the Tyson bell. Right? Right? Manny didn't fight Canelo. No, I love that Floyd fought Canelo. That's why I got Floyd so great. But one fight doesn't make you greater than Manny. But I love that he fought him. I love that fight. See, that's the thing y'all not hearing. Y'all think I'm just dissing Floyd. Floyd is top 15, top 12 greatest fighter ever. Pound for pound. Because he did stuff like that. Did stuff like Diego Corrales. Did stuff like fighting Oscar De La Hoya at 154. Cotto at 154, which I give Floyd more credit fighting Cotto at 154 than Manny Pacquiao fighting Cotto at a catchweight. Always said that. Cotto was so drained, it was crazy. See, y'all hear the bad. Y'all don't understand the good. I give Floyd love for fighting Canelo when other people don't. I give love Floyd mad love for that. Mad love for that. Yes. Yes. Floyd is a fighter, no doubt. Floyd been fighting since 2 years old, no doubt. But just like Roy Jones Jr. said, I wanted to preserve my O. When my O was gone, then I went to do something crazy. See, trying to stay undefeated keeps you safe. Roy wouldn't have went up to heavyweight, went back down, beating Bob Fitzsimmons' 100-year record, and go back down and regain the light heavyweight belt, something that no one has ever done from middleweight. He wouldn't have took those chances if he never took that disqualification loss to Montel Griffin. It was the loss that made him great. It was the loss that made him say, well, forget it. Let me do something outstanding. I lost already. Rocky Marciano didn't fight Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson was right there. He retired early. He didn't fight Sonny Liston. Patterson did. He didn't fight Sonny Liston. He bounced before, and he bounced in his young 30s. That's why I would never give Rocky Marciano the love that I give like Muhammad Ali and them. Joe Kawasaki, same thing. He didn't fight Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones Jr. when they were sitting right there in their primes. He sat over there, preserved, then he came over and he ate on the remains. Hit the Tyson bell. That's what I'm talking about, man. I don't think y'all hear me. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. My bad. But you can also tell if you don't have it anymore in a win. Yeah, a person can realize their legs aren't there in a win. Right. But the insane keeps going because they convince themselves, just like Manny Pacquiao did. Or my legs were cramping. They convinced themselves I still got it. They're not rational. Fighters aren't rational. They're animals. Facts are in the bank. They're not rational thinkers. They're animals. Oscar De La Hoya isn't rational. What the hell is he doing? He's not fighting Vito Belfort calling out Canelo Alvarez. He's crazy. Always been. Always been. Floyd is 50-0, the GOAT. I guess then the top three greatest fighters of all time is Floyd Mayweather, Rocky Marciano, and Joe Kawasaki. If undefeated is everything, Muhammad Ali can't hold a candle to Joe Kawasaki then. Sugar Ray Robinson ain't close to Rocky Marciano pound for pound greatest fighters of all time. Undefeated is number one. So Floyd Mayweather, Rocky Marciano, Joe Kawasaki, the top three greatest fighters of all time. That's how you feel, but that's not me. That's not me. It's not the victory. It's the fight for me. You think Manny goes down 4 pounds to fight Josh Taylor or Mikey Garcia? It is his natural weight class apart from 135. We love him already. What is he? Don't do it. Don't do it. We love you already, Manny. Get out of here. We love you already. Get out of here. But fighters got huge egos. I'm not sure if he can live with it. He got the bug. He's a lunatic. Now, for all of you now, everybody make sure you hit the like button. I want to say this, okay? We didn't lose, right? Everybody who placed a bet with me on busr.com, go to busr.com/showbiz, place a bet on your favorite fights. Everybody who placed a bet with me, you know you got your money refunded because Yordanis Ugas won by decision. Let me break this down for you. I told busr.com, I said, I'm going to bet big bucks on Manny Pacquiao KO in the 9th round. But I want a safety net. Can we get a promo for my community? Because I knew you guys were going to be like, yo, man, that is a good bet. And they said, what safety net do you want? I said, if Yordanis Ugas wins by decision, we get our money back. They said, oh, fine. Let me tell you why I said that. I knew Father Time was undefeated. I knew if Manny Pacman Pacquiao looks old, Yordanis Ugas going to win. So, if Manny Pacquiao looks like he did against Keith Thurman, he's going to knock that guy out. He had no legs. Safety net. Hit the Tyson Bell. We got our money refunded, like I said. So, you guys, I think around 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, if you guys made that bet on the round bet like I did, you're going to get your money refunded because I had to do that for you guys. busr.com, that is the only betting site that'll do something like that. You guys place a bet, they give you a safety net. We agreed on that safety net, so you get your money back. You know, it's all good. So the people that were trolling, talking about you lost, we didn't lose anything. Let me see. Pac fought so old last night that Ugas looked better against him than Floyd looked against Pac. I mean, well, yeah. Great career for Pac if he hangs up now. Ugas looked better. I mean, but see, Floyd did it against a better Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Floyd has beaten more champs than anyone in boxing. Yeah, I like that. Floyd, on the other hand, doesn't. He said that there's too many belts. So he knocked his own accomplishment. He said that there's too many belts when he was talking about Tank Davis. Remember? He also said bells collect nothing but dust. He said he's for the money. So he had like a great nose for all the belts, all the sanctioning. He knew how the lack of importance that was. But still, the fact still remains that fact. I actually like that. I like that. I like that fact. But you're talking to somebody who I also appreciate Tank Davis having 3 regular titles and 3 different. I still think that's cool, right? Hit the Tyson Bell. I know people say it's not a real title and stuff. I mean, the guy that you beat holding the title is a good fighter, so he fought good fighter. I mean, that's how I feel. Well, again, Bull, it was the vacant title. So, but Leo Santa Cruz and stuff like, I mean, you know. Let me see. Biz, what's next for Ugas? I'm gonna show you. Y'all want to know what's next for Ugas? Read them and weep. Read them and weep. They already got the poster up. Read them and weep. Elder True Spence versus Ugas. Elder True Spence coming right back. A minor setback. Biz, great live last night. Thank you so much. I just seen the highlights. Manny will be missed. But went down as a warrior. Absolutely. Ugas is a true champion now. Absolutely. He is a true champion, and shout out to Ugas because he really wanted to make that a point. He hate hearing the whole email belt thing. It was given to him. He's not a true champion. He hated hearing that. He said that many times in the post press conference. He's a true champion, and he is. Floyd tells you himself that he isn't willing to take risks, and y'all still pretend like he's the best. You can't be the greatest when you fear risk. Well, I'm gonna tell you this though. They can believe that he's the best. I don't mind that. Whoever thinks Floyd Money Mayweather is the greatest of all time, it's okay. But don't try to convince me. See, I'm not telling you to not believe that Floyd Mayweather is the greatest ever. Believe it. But don't try to convince me. I know boxing too much. Don't convince me. Right? Floyd Mayweather, like I said, my top 5 favorite fighters of all time. All right? But when you're trying to convince me and then start telling me who I am based on that, get out of here. Right? Don't try to convince me. But if you believe so, that's fine. It's all subjective. P.S. Iron sharpens iron. 100%. Here's another thing. I know I did want Manny Pacquiao to pass the torch to Errol Spence. I wanted that fight, and I see Errol Spence as the guy that you pass the torch to. I do. I see him as a pay-per-view star. I see him as the best welterweight in the world. I see him as deserving to pass the torch to. But he passed it to Ugas. All right? It's not really a passing of the torch as in the sense of passing the torch the way Klitschko did to AJ, the way Muhammad Ali did to Larry Holmes. It's not a passing of the torch in that sense, but the torch is out for Manny. All right? And Yordenis Ugas is holding it. But I'm going to tell you this, though. Though Errol Spence didn't get the torch passed to him last night, he's going to fight the better guy. Hit the Tyson Bell. Forget the names. Yordenis Ugas was better than Manny Pacquiao last night. So Errol the True Spence is going to fight the better guy. And we want the best to fight the best, right? So it's good to know that Yordenis Ugas is better than Manny Pacquiao. It's good to know that. Because what we could have gotten was Errol the True Spence beating the hell out of Manny Pacquiao in a sad one-sided ass whipping that I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to be a knockout. Okay? Well, I was going to have a tear just dripping. All right? But Yordenis Ugas actually being a better fighter without the opportunity. Nah, it's better now. The best fighting the best. Yordenis Ugas was better than Manny Pacquiao last night. Errol the True Spence versus Yordenis Ugas. I'd rather that fight now that we know the truth. I always want to know the truth. Who's better? Yordenis Ugas or Manny Pacquiao right now? Yordenis Ugas. Best should fight the best. Game over. That's just it. Manny is not fighting these young elite fighters. He was challenging himself fighting Father Time, which makes him great. Yeah. And he was he signed to fight Crawford. He was ready to fight Errol Spence. That guy is insane. And he fought Yordenis Ugas, who I think beat Showtime Sean Porter. And if you look at Yordenis Ugas now, I think Yordenis Ugas beat Showtime Sean Porter, and he beat Manny Pacquiao. Like I said, these guys are close. Remember I say that? Errol the True Spence, Yordenis Ugas, Keith One Time Thurman, Danny Swift Garcia, Showtime Sean Porter, Terrence Bud Crawford. All these guys are close. Not that much better than the other. Not that much better than the other. Hit the Tyson Bell. Nah, Biz, F that. They should not believe Floyd is the best at all. It disrespect to the sport. And I'm a huge Floyd fan, but we are being objective. But you know what, though? I respect everybody's opinion. Okay, unless it's just a bad opinion about me. Because I know who I am. No, but if it's an opinion based off no grounds, no, I don't respect that. But Floyd Mayweather actually got grounds. He has one of the best resumes of all time. Floyd Mayweather beat all those guys at the end of the day. Floyd Mayweather did jump up weight classes, right? Was he 5-division world champion, something like that? Floyd Mayweather had a fantastic career, and he's one of the most advanced, technically skilled fighters I've ever seen in the ring. So there is grounds. It's just that I don't think he's the greatest. And I have my objective reasons why. And that's the biggest one. He didn't push himself the way Sugar Ray Leonard did, like Duran did, like Sugar Ray Robinson did, like Muhammad Ali did. The risk. People thought that George Foreman was going to kill Ali. And here's another thing I'm going to say about me rooting for Manny Pacquiao last night. You say they close, but does Ugas beat Spence? No, I think Spence beats him. But Spence beat Porter too. How close was that fight? Ugas barely beat Porter. Porter barely beat Ugas, and I think Ugas actually won that fight. So I don't because they're close. It doesn't mean I think he beats Spence. I think Spence win. Everybody hit the like button, please. I think Spence would beat Crawford too. You know, you're talking to somebody who think that Spence is the best welterweight in the world. Manny could have done it like Floyd and made all those boys fight each other and then wait till the winner gets old. Well, Manny could have retired after Keith one time. Thurman, right? No, he's insane. You got to be shown the door when you're insane. And to me, rooting for why you ducking my super chats. I just read this one. There's 1,300 people in here, which that is beautiful. Everybody, please hit the like button. When there's 1,300 people in here, Elko, you're sitting on that side, so you don't know how it is on this side. The chat is flying. So it's if I missed it, I apologize. But ducking you, there's no. I already schooled you. I already got you out of there. Everybody in the war room knows that. So I don't want to bully you. Let me see what else we got. EJ beats Ugas. Porter beats Bud. Spooky rematch. Yeah, I thought about that. What I want to say about me rooting for Manny Pacman Pacquiao to beat Yordenis Ugas last night is this. I don't know how you wouldn't root for Manny. How wouldn't you root for Manny? How wouldn't you root for Manny? Who rooted for Larry Holmes against Ali? Which one of you rooted for Larry Holmes to beat Ali? Jump in the war room. Which one of you guys did that? Who really did that? Who rooted for Larry Holmes to beat Ali? Huh? Who really rooted for Hector Camacho to beat Sugar Ray Leonard? Which one of you guys did that? Be unbiased. I unbiasedly called it, but I did root for Manny Pacquiao. I unbiasedly called the fight. I will unbiasedly be an analyst. That's not biased, unbiased. But Manny Pacquiao is an icon, so I was rooting for him. You can root for somebody and be unbiased. I don't think you know what unbiased means. I called it unbiasedly, and I said Yordenis Ugas deserved the victory, and I did not want him robbed. That's unbiased. Though I was rooting for Manny Pacquiao, I rooted for more than Manny Pacquiao to win. It's for the best man to win. So understand unbiased in what I'm doing here. But Manny Pacquiao, I wasn't indifferent as far as wanting to see Manny Pacquiao win, right? He tugs on the heartstrings. I did not want to see Danny Williams beat Mike Tyson. I just didn't want to see. Who rooted for Danny Williams to beat Mike Tyson? Who did that? Right? Let me see. What's up, War Room? For the community, Tyson Bell for Manny living that bond. Yeah. Bum, V. Living a good life. Letting the light in. Love from California. Let's let the light in. Tell your mother, tell your father, tell your husband, tell your wife, tell your son, tell your daughter, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your cousin, tell your nephew, tell your niece, tell your aunt, tell your uncle, tell your grandmother, tell your grandfather, tell your best friend, tell your girlfriend, tell your boyfriend, tell your side piece. If they're right next to you, tell them. If they're away from you, text them. They're no longer here anymore. You look at the sky and say, I love you. Hit the Tyson Bell. Pac versus Taylor. I'm really not into it, dog. Really not into it. I need Pac to go ahead and retire, bro. Sugar Ray Robinson, those numbers are wrong. Pacquiao on 21, Floyd on 22. But you count rematch wins. Pacquiao on 25, Floyd on 24. Wow. Well, I want to say this too. The reason why I kind of compared Yordenis Ugas versus Manny Pacquiao to Joe Kawasaki versus Roy Jones Jr. is this. Like I said before, your heart still hurting? End of an era? I understand. It's all good. But your heart should be full of joy. That's how fighters go. But I understand, though. It's painful nonetheless. I get you. Like I said before, Roy Jones Jr. had the hand speed. He didn't have the leg speed. Roy Jones Jr. had flashes. He had flashes when he dropped Felix Trinidad. You were just excited, right? He had flashes. Maybe he's back. Maybe he's Superman. Maybe he got his second win in life, right? Manny Pacquiao, same thing. You saw him throwing those punches, training, and he said he feels young again. He feels the youngest, the best he ever felt. What did Apollo Creed say before Drago? I mean, this is the fastest I've ever been, the strongest I've ever been, the best I've ever felt in my life, right? Hit the Tyson Bear. Remember that on Rocky 4? What are you talking about, Rocky? This is the best I've ever been, the fastest I've ever been. Manny Pacquiao, I turned back the clock. I feel young. This is the best I felt since whenever he said 10 years or something he said. That's Apollo Creed. Talking about. That's Roy Jones Jr. My hands are so fast. What do you mean? Legs. Apollo Creed jumped in there with Drago. He slipped trying to move. Roy Jones Jr. was stepping straight back, trying to throw one punch real fast. Stand there, do the neck. That ain't working. Manny Pacquiao getting hit, saying, let's go. But no side to side like Manny. No lateral movement like Manny. Like he was against Adrian Broner. Legs in the mud. What happened to him? Manny couldn't understand what happened to me. What happens to every fighter, Manny? Every fighter. Every fighter. Right? I must break you. Larry's family rooted for him. Yeah. Your Donis guys. Yeah. But that's not what I was talking about. Yeah, of course his mother rooted for him. You know, Buster Douglas family rooted for Buster Douglas to beat Tyson. There's always somebody who loves you. If you want to make that point, yes, there are people who love you. I'm trolling y'all. My shoulder. Yeah, you always have a reason. Watch party was litty. Thank you so much. Sugar Ray, the real GOAT, period. Sugar Ray Robinson still is the GOAT. Sugar Ray Robinson is the GOAT. Yes, all day long. Father Time is undefeated, 100%. Sugar Ray paid Duran to lose. Yo, Biz, Pacquiao's legs gave up on him during the second round. He said, on the corner, that his legs went stiff. They would. He's old. Remember when Evander Holyfield threw a left hook against James Toney, almost threw his shoulder out of socket? He threw a left hook. He missed James Toney so bad. Like, pop. He ain't have a left arm anymore. James Toney was whooping. He had one arm. That happened like the first, second round. Yo. All right. He needs a better strength and conditioning coach. Justin and his old school training is not working. Plus, Manny had 2 years off. Manny's old. See, you'll get it, JD, when you get older. You're young. You can have all the strength and conditioning all you want. Can't beat youth, baby. Can't beat Father Time, baby. You have sparks. You'll figure it out later. Let me give you about 15, 20 more years. What are you, about 20, 19 years old? Something like that. I'll give you some more years. Speaking of great fights where, you know, the old guy, people rooted for the old guy against the young guy. Remember the Battle of the Ages? Which fight was that? Just a quick quiz for all you guys. Battle of the Ages. The fight build, Battle of the Ages. Which fight was that? Which fight was that? Foreman. That's right. Foreman versus who? Foreman versus who? The Battle of the Ages. Or Battle for the Ages. Was it Battle for the Ages? George Foreman against who? You guys, you got half of it. Holyfield. Foreman, Holyfield. I need to start having giveaways for something like this. This is great. We need to start doing this. Foreman, Holyfield. Nobody was rooting for Holyfield, man. What? Who would root for Holyfield? I mean, my brother did. That's his favorite fighter. Ain't nobody root for no Holyfield. Everybody was rooting for Burger George Foreman with the hamburgers and Big George. Old ass George just walking. That was beautiful. Everybody wanted George. That was a pay-per-view fight. I mean, some kids rooted for Evander Holyfield. I rooted for him because I was a kid. But boxing fans, like George, right? He's like a father to me. Hey, Ma, remember Ma? Remember Ma? George was in my oldest brother's ear. Remember that? Look at his waist. He's going to lose. He's too small. Big George got that experience, got that power. If anybody who watched George Foreman anytime in his youth was rooting for George all day, all day, all day. If you watch George Foreman at all in his youth when he had a fro, you were rooting for Big George, bro. Father Time. Youth won that night. Let me see. It won in Foreman legend. Oh, yeah. So last night, Manny Pacquiao versus Ugas. Your heart's going out if you've seen Manny growing up. Let's see if Manny can do it one more time. Knock him out, Manny. Knock him out. Man, Manny was out there looking like an old man. But you know what, though? From waist up, nice. Pop, 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 pop. He had those moments. Wait, hold on. Now, let me stop hating. He had those moments in the fight where Manny was still like, come on. And I mean, it was Manny. It was, you know what? It was closer to Sugar Ray Leonard, Terry Norris. Look at Terry Norris versus Sugar Ray Leonard. That was actually a war. Just Terry Norris dropped him like twice and he was younger. But Sugar was there throwing his hands. Actually, yeah, forget Roy Jones, Joe Kawasaki. Manny Pacquiao versus Ugas was closer to Sugar Ray Leonard versus Terry Norris. Watch that fight. It was action-packed. Manny Pacquiao versus Ugas was action-packed last night. Action-packed. Right? It's just it was an old Manny. But he was letting his hands go, and he took some hard shots. He gave hard shots back. Beautiful. What do you think about Canelo versus Plant? In my opinion, he fighting an Uber driver. Neither one of them are Uber drivers. Did you see what Caleb Plant said? Let me show you. Oh, or maybe I can do it from here. Hold on. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. What Caleb Plant said. Now that we're past the hour. Here he is right here. Here he is right here. Let me pause it for you guys. Let me go to the stream. I'm getting old. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting old. This is what happens when you try to have technology work for you. I'm getting old. Share this. Let me see. Where's the you dig? Where's the you dig? All right, forget it. Let me play it for you.
The Twitter sphere going crazy with November 6th. Oh, you're getting some love in here, Caleb. In terms of this fight, it's official. November 6th, you will take on the pound-for-pound king, Canelo Alvarez, correct?
Correct. November 6th is going down. First undisputed super middleweight of all time, and you're looking at him. His name is Caleb Plant.
See, you said a cab driver, an Uber driver. Caleb Plant said you're looking at the first super middleweight undisputed champion of all time. It's not about what you think. It's about what they think. And that's what makes a great fight. Caleb Plant is sure that he's going to be undisputed 168-pounder champion. He's sure of it. That's what makes a great fight. That's what makes a great fight. Yordanis Ugas said, I'm the real champion. Look what happened. That's what makes a great fight. You said that Canelo was taking on an Uber driver. He says Canelo was taking on the next undisputed super middleweight champion. That's what we want to hear. What do I think about it? As long as Caleb Plant comes to fight, I'm going to enjoy myself. Hit the Tyson bell. That's the bottom line. Sorry, Biz, Plant will be murdered. Okay, but don't say sorry to me. That's okay. I mean, I don't want anybody murdered, but if he gets whipped, I just want to know the truth. I don't care. I don't care. I care about Caleb Plant coming to fight, Canelo Alvarez coming to fight, both of them being healthy in the ring, and us getting a fantastic fight, at least two guys wanting to fight. And if Caleb Plant goes in there to win and Canelo knocks him out, fantastic. You don't have to say sorry. I'm telling you, bro, we are in a totally different world. We are in two totally different worlds. And that's the black, two sugar. Manny still has many years ahead of him. In other careers, boxing didn't die. In other careers. Yeah, boxing didn't die. It just added to its history. And while it continues, we will still be watching the king of commentary, ShowBizz the Adult. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Thank you, Biz, my brother. And I both, my brother and I both bet. He had Pac. I had Ugas, 10K apiece. Whoa. I put it on a decision. Oh, and he put it on Pac in the ninth based off your analysis. We always watch you. Much love, big bro. Much love to you. He got his money back, huh? There you go. He got his money back and you got to the bag. Let me tell you this, though. You know, there are some of you. I don't know if anybody else took advantage of this, but it looks like you did. But there's some of you with, I should have thought of it. I don't know how I missed it, but I should have told you guys. I knew it, but I should have told you. BUSR promising the money back if Yordenis Ugas win by decision. You should have put money on Yordenis Ugas to win by decision too. So you put money. I should have said something. You put money. It's free money. So if you lose the knockout thing by the round, you get that money back though. So you get what I'm saying? You put money on Ugas. They hold hands. If Ugas lose and Manny Pacquiao does win by KO in the ninth, you get a ton of money. You can lose that little money. But you put some money on $100 on Yordenis Ugas to win by decision and $50 for the knockout. Boom, you get your $50 back. Yordenis, pow, right? My man took advantage of it, though. Thank you so much for the super chat. The argument against Floyd ducking, his notable wins. Hernandez, Corrales, Castillo. Yeah, Zab, Guerrero. Yeah, people don't bring up Zab enough. Oscar, Hatton, Marquez. People, I didn't mind the Marquez win. People did, but fine. Shane Mosley, Cotto, Maidana twice. He was fighting people, Canelo, Gotti, Pacman, etc. Here's my thing about that. Good point, Errol. I'm going to tell you this, too. What I love about Floyd. When Floyd did have a tough fight, he fought his ass again. See, this is the thing that people don't give credit to Floyd. Castillo 2 and Maidana 2. Those, you look at that. People thought Maidana won. It was a hard fight for him. He fought his ass again, though. See, I think Castillo beat Floyd, but Floyd fought him again and shut me up. See, that's what I'm saying. That's greatness. That's why Floyd, those rematches, that's huge for me. The fights that were questionable, he didn't run from them. He fought him again. See, Floyd was more of a warrior than people give him credit for. He was far more of a warrior than people give him credit for. I just don't think he's insane. Like the greats, like Duran, Manny Pacquiao, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali. That's insanity. Henry Armstrong, Joe Louis, Willie Pep. Insanity. He was smarter, kind of like Rocky Marciano. He was smarter. But insane? No. Roy Jones Jr., insane. Right? Big George Foreman, insane. Evander Holyfield, he wasn't that. Sweet Pea Whitaker, insane, fighting Felix Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya, stuff like that. Beyond it, past his prime. Insanity. Right? But I give him credit for that. Floyd was more of a fighter than they give him credit for, than people give him credit for. It's not that Floyd is a soft fighter who's just smart. No, he had heart too, just not insane. There's levels to this. Thank you so much for the super chat. There's levels to this. Way to keep it 100. I always do. Always do. It's just that people hear me say some criticism toward Floyd. You hate because you're so used to everybody else. ShowBizz the Adult is different than everybody else. I'm unbiased. I don't have that. It doesn't make a difference to me regardless. No matter what, Floyd can mess around and come back and beat Tyson Fury. I wouldn't give a damn. He's the greatest ever. I would just say that. You know what I'm saying? I would love it to death. It doesn't matter to me either way. Just like my man who said it's heartbroken, end of an era. I'm gonna say era instead of era now. I told you guys, amateur instead of amateur. I'm changing my whole vocab. Schedule instead of schedule. I'm on that. End of an era. I hear you, but it doesn't matter to you either way. You still got to go to work tomorrow. You still got bills to pay. You still got things to do in your personal life. How great Manny or Floyd or anybody is don't matter to me anyway. I have to live and breathe my own life. I want to be great myself, a great father for my kids. I ain't thinking about that. Not that much. It doesn't matter to me. So I will always keep it 100. Always hit the Tyson bell. Floyd greatness doesn't make me weaker. Manny Pacquiao greatness doesn't hurt my feelings. I got my own shit. Hit the Tyson bell 10 times for the legendary career of Manny Pacman Pacquiao. He will be missed. Well, the 10 times is kind of like he died or something. So I'm not on that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like Ray Robinson, Ali, Pac, Tyson, Flomo. Well, the Flomo part was kind of hating. I don't even know what that means because I don't have Tyson Tyson's my friend. Okay, I'm Team Tyson all the way, and I don't. That's that. I don't have him top. Mike Tyson is he's definitely top 50 of all time. He's definitely top 50 of all. It sounds disrespectful. He's top 50 of all time. Okay, I know that for sure. I would have to really think about where I put Mike Tyson. All right, I'm not sure if he's top 30, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think I'm sure I can name 30 great fighters pound for pound greater than him. I'm sure of it. Let me see. Floyd wasn't insane because he saw his dad and uncle struggle with money and have health problems from boxing. Right. Yes. For whatever reason. Yes. He never took drugs or anything like that. We know his father had a huge drug issue. Okay. So yes. Still, for whatever reason, what makes him make those decisions, I'm not going to give him credit as a career over Manny Pacquiao because of his reasons why. People got reasons. I don't want to have a brain condition. I don't want to die in the ring. I don't want to whatever. I don't want to get hit. I don't want my pretty face to get broken up. People got reasons that I understand. I don't want my kids crying. Real reasons. But the insanity, the guy who runs out there with 2 knives against 5 people who got guns and come out of that mug to save his family and come out of it bleeding and victorious, that was insane. But it's great. Okay? Thanks, Biz. Floyd had 26 consecutive wins in title fights. Yeah, that's insane. 10 by KO. Duck in question. I didn't see him as a duck. But anyway, it can be argued that Casamayor, Margarito, Duck Floyd, Aram, not Floyd, pulled the plug on the Winky Wright fight. I thought Floyd was like, I'm straight. But if it was Aram, okay. But my whole thing is this, though. I never saw Floyd as a ducker. Ever. Because, like you said, I saw people duck Floyd. And that's the Black Two Sugars. See, Sugar Shane Mosley is one of my greatest favorite fighters ever. Okay? At the time, Roy Jones, Sugar Shane Mosley, and Floyd Mayweather at the time were my 3 favorite fighters in the world. I saw Sugar Shane Mosley duck Floyd. I saw it. I saw him avoid Floyd. So Floyd wasn't the guy. When Floyd started getting a bunch of money, then people wanted Floyd and they had to get in line. But I remember when Floyd was hungry and coming up, nobody wanted to smoke. I remember that clear. I remember when Sugar Shane Mosley was bigger than Floyd. I remember that clear. So, you know. Oh, yeah. Where Pac on your all-time list? For me, top 5. I got him at 10. At 10. I got him at 10, which hurts my feelings because whoever I move out to 10 spot, I don't want him out. I don't want Sam Langford out, Jack Johnson out. So I got to figure out. But I know I got Manny in the top 10 fighters of all time because, geez, man. But I can't. There's guys I just can't put them over. Okay? So I got it. I mean, you want to talk about insanity. Sam Langford and Jack Johnson were insane, but so was Manny. But Sam Langford, insane. Right? Sam Langford, you want to talk about fighting fighting the worst fighters you can fight. But then on top of that, fighting at giving up so many pounds is ridiculous. Then on top of that, getting ducked. Ray Robinson is the GOAT. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you something, Elko. If Manny Pacquiao would have fought Errol Spence and won, I would have had Manny Pacquiao as the greatest fighter ever, but never better than Sugar Ray Robinson. Never. There ain't one fighter I've ever seen ever better than him. Never. No one. And I know that's back in the day, and I wasn't even born. But I watch his tape. Nobody's better than that. Nobody. You can name whoever you want. Now, the best fighter I watched and lived through was Roy Jones Jr. The greatest fighter I lived through was Manny Pacquiao. The best fighter I've ever seen, like on video, it's Sugar Ray Robinson, easily. That guy's the best fighter I've ever seen. Nobody's better than him. Nobody. Now he's still the greatest. Biz, you're the objective one, correct? You didn't accuse him of ducking. That argument was for the Floyd has always ducked crowd. Yeah, I know. I wanted to support you on that. Hit the Tyson bell. Since I have the voice and no one can hear you. I wanted to echo what you were saying to that crowd. Floyd wasn't a ducker, man. People just was tired of him winning, and I get that. Right? Floyd is the GOAT. See, that's when you go too far. Great points, yet always entertaining. Appreciated, Biz. My man hit the Tyson bell. You're so witty. It's a special occasion, so I'm going over a bit, maybe for another 15 minutes. Thank you, ShowBizz. Much love to you. Floyd never fought at 160, 168, 175, so we don't know if he could accomplish what Pacquiao accomplished. That's the thing, Carlos. Pacquiao came from 98 damn pounds. 98 damn pounds. To us looking at what happened last night. That's why that's insane. Absolutely. That's why that's insane. 98 pounds in 4 decades, in 4 different decades. The 90s, he was around as champion. 2000s, around as champion. 2010s, around as champion. And 2020s, he was a champion. Pay-per-view. That's a huge accomplishment. And when you look at the parallel, if you look at the parallel, Floyd Mayweather was fighting Logan Paul. And Manny Pacquiao was fighting Broner, Thurman, and now Yordenis Ugas, and was up to fight Errol Spence, and Errol Spence got hurt. He signed to fight Terrence Crawford, and that fell through. This is what I'm judging him on. The guy's crazy. So I don't even think it's an argument. Who's greater? Who's greater is really not even an argument. I'm sorry. With all the things I've said about Floyd, of course, I don't think it's even an argument. Who's greater? Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather. It's not even it's not an argument. Not to me. Not to me. I don't think so. Let me see. The crazy analogy explains achieving greatness. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. It's the craziness along with the skill. Right? What did Mike Tyson say about Ali? He said Ali looked like a model. He shouldn't be fighting. He said, but he was he was a savage. I need to look it up and send it to y'all. Mike Tyson, when he said that, he almost cried talking about it. When my man asked Mike Tyson who would win between him and Ali, he said Ali. He said he was crazy, man. He said he was like a T-Rex. He was an animal. He was a predator, but he looks like a model. You shouldn't be fighting if you look like that. Sugar Ray Leonard was insane. Manny Pacquiao, Oscar De La Hoya. These guys out there just golden boy. People seeing these guys with silver spoons in their mouths. Nobody is grittier. Canelo Alvarez is one in the making. Hit the Tyson bell. Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather just not as crazy as the rest of them. It's a great analogy. T.O.'s in the building. Is he? Let me see. Yeah. Floyd is 50-0. Rocky is 40-0, 49-0. And really, Floyd's 50-0 came by the way of Conor McGregor. Right? But at least Floyd was old. That's what I give him over Rocky. Rocky was young. And he left. And Floyd Patterson was sitting. I got the magazines. Floyd Patterson was sitting right there. Hold on. I just want to hold on. Hold on real quick. I'm about done with all this. Since we going over this right here. What else we got? Woo! What a cover, huh? This is 1957. What a cover, huh? And then you have just Ring Magazine's last issue. Ring Magazine been around, man. Been around. Hold on real quick. Let me show you something. Well, that's okay. I got it. This is enough. This book right here, this issue right here, Ring Magazine. Okay. What year is this? This 57 too? Yeah, it's 57. This issue right here. It says Floyd Patterson KOs Rocky Marciano in the 7th. Everybody wanted Rocky Marciano to come back out of retirement. He wasn't gone that long. Fight Floyd Patterson. This was, if you read this magazine, which I have, they had an article in here just hyping up the fight, how great it would be. Rocky Marciano come out of retirement and fight this young bull. Fight him. Rocky, we haven't seen you fight enough guys this fantastic. Yeah, you fought Ezra Charles. He was light in the tush. Yeah, you fought Jersey Joe Walcott. He was long in the tooth. Yeah, you fought Joe Louis. He was long in the tooth. But this guy, see, the whole Floyd Mayweather argument isn't new. When this magazine came out, everybody wanted Rocky Marciano to come back and fight this guy. Please, you're young. And they went on to say Floyd Patterson would knock him out. They said Floyd Patterson would knock him out, bro. Where was The Rock? That's what was going on with Keith One Time Thurman and Floyd Mayweather. That was Floyd Patterson, Rocky Marciano. The difference is this. Floyd Mayweather was old. Rocky Marciano was young. That's why I put Floyd over Rocky. Yeah, Marciano ducked him, and he knew Sonny Liston was breathing down his neck. I don't care what anybody say, man. I love Rocky Marciano as much as everybody else. Rocky Marciano, one hell of a fighter. Same way I feel about Floyd Mayweather, one hell of a fighter. But I am going to raise an eyebrow. I am going to say this is why George Foreman is greater than Rocky Marciano. I am going to say that. Right? Jack Dempsey, Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis. I am going to say why. Pacman was not looking like the Pacman we know. His footwork was not there. Uga's jab game, Manny accuracy was not there as well, to be honest. Yeah, but Yes, but that's what happens. Sugar Ray Leonard, everything, his legs, his accuracy, everything wasn't there when he fought Terry Norris. Much love to Terry Norris. Much love to Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard passed the torch. Not everybody could beat Muhammad Ali. Legs not there. Beat George Foreman in this prime. Knocking everybody out. That's knock out George Foreman at that. Not everybody can pull that off. Okay? But Pacquiao had that moment when he beat Keith one time Thurman. Right? Except for, they thought George Foreman was going to kill Ali. That's different. All right? But I'm just saying. I didn't think Manny Pacquiao was going to beat Keith Thurman. I was hoping he did, but I didn't think he was. Hit the Tyson bit. No. And look, George Foreman versus Ali was closer to like Errol Spence versus Pacquiao. Errol Spence was going to that Pacquiao there. I'm happy about it. I'm happy he fought Ugas and not Errol. If you would have fought Errol Spence, he would have got you. You want to talk about some sad faces today? You think your face sad now? At least Manny Pacquiao can stand. And it could have been bad if you thought Ugas was landing some body shots and hit him with some counter shots. Errol Spence would have been pressuring him. See, Ugas was still letting Manny Pacquiao dictate some stuff, and Ugas was throwing counters. Errol Spence behind that jab, walking him down. If Ugas can take Manny Pacquiao's punches, Errol Spence could. The thing is, Errol Spence would have had a tight defense too, and would have been first. He would have been first, bruh. Julio Cesar Chavez is the GOAT of all time, and there's people who think so. I don't think so. I thoroughly don't think so. Yeah. ShowBizz. Now look at this guy. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Come in late after everything I said about Floyd. Look at this guy. This is why this channel isn't good for guys like him. The wet tissue paper guys. Can't hear all the good I said about Floyd. Look at that. If you don't think Floyd is the greatest ever, see, like Ryan Adams, he thinks Floyd's so good he'll kiss his feet. If I'm not kissing feet, I'm a hater. Look at him. Look at him. Everybody, let Ryan Adams have it. Let him have it. Let him have it. After everything I said today, good about Floyd Mayweather, let him have it. I always wonder what it was like watching Ali. But I gotta watch Manny. Most accomplished fighter, possibly athlete of all time. All love Manny, most accomplished. Pretty good though. Yeah, it could. There's an argument. There's an argument. Ugas' defense reminded me of Pacman versus Clotty. Yeah, but not as tight as Clotty. Clotty didn't even want to throw a punch. All right, Ugas was making a miss. He was ducking too, not just having the earmuffs up. Clotty just had the earmuffs up. It was ridiculous. All right, you see Pacquiao throw the 2-punch and miss. he always lands that, which is illegal, but he missed that one. I can say this about the Floyd Pacquiao conversation. I can say this. Floyd Mayweather would have beaten Pacquiao every damn time. Maybe one time Pacquiao would have beaten Floyd. And the closer to their primes, the more for Floyd, bro. Brother, let me tell y'all something. In this community, you talking about fighting one-on-one? Who's a better fighter? There was no way. Hey, Pacquiao can't beat Floyd, man. And I know you guys think that Pacquiao actually did. And y'all got to watch it backwards in slow motion and all that. That's a heavy bias. Floyd Mayweather controlled him that fight. He beat him that fight. Now, Floyd Mayweather had a harder time with Pacquiao than Pacquiao had with Floyd. True. Because Floyd was defensive and, being slick and getting out of there. So when you got to be that defensive, Floyd was actually fighting more than Manny. But with that said, that was the craftsmanship of Floyd. And Floyd, I think he would have always beat Manny. If don't forget, Floyd is older than Manny. So if you rewind the clock some and make Floyd closer to his prime against Manny, let's just say they're the same age. Floyd beats him. Hey man. Look, Floyd isn't greater than Manny. But Floyd was one hell of a fighter. And I think all of us Manny Pacquiao fans and all of us Floyd fans need to sit here in the war room and keep it real with each other. Floyd, let's go. Let's just start here. Floyd was a fantastic fighter in the ring. Can we at least say that? Can we at least say Floyd was a fantastic boxer in the ring? Can we say that? Can we say that? Can we just agree on that? Now, everything else we can work with, but we got to agree there. Thanks. I love both. Yeah, me too. See, he was a runner. You can't box after dark. You can't. The hate is too strong. The hate is too strong, bro. I respect both fighters last night, but damn, that was a war. Yeah, both their faces were messed up. Ugas did say he would give him a rematch since it was short notice, but I don't know if it happens. I don't think it should. Ugas mess around, knock him out this time. Ugas hit him with some nice shots, man. Agree. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now I'm gonna go here. Floyd Mayweather was a better boxer than Manny. Y'all don't have to agree with that. Floyd Mayweather would have always beaten Manny, but Manny had a greater career than Floyd, and that will always be my go-to. That would always be my thing. Now, it's up to you what you like more. Okay? It's up to you what you like more. All right? Let me tell you, Roy Jones Jr. is a better fighter than Floyd. Roy Jones Jr., when they both existed at the same time, everyone knew Roy Jones was better than Floyd. He's a better fighter than Floyd. Better career? Floyd. There's no question. Floyd had a better career than Roy Jones Jr. He did. Even going up heavyweight and doing all, Floyd had a better career than Roy. Roy was a better fighter. Now, that's the black two sugars. Hell, Roy's a better fighter than Manny Pacquiao, too. Manny Pacquiao, greater career. That's how I'm doing it. That's how I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it like this too. Mike Tyson is a better fighter than Evander Holyfield. Mike Tyson is a better fighter than Evander Holyfield. Holyfield had a greater career. He had greater fights. Holyfield's career is greater. But Mike Tyson was a better fighter though. And Holyfield beat him. But Mike Tyson was a better fighter though. Just Holyfield was greater. Floyd, better boxer. Manny, greater overall. That's what we're just trying to win an argument. You just can't stay. Manny is greater, but Floyd is better. Period. Yeah, Roy in his prime, fire. Oh man, we're going over pretty good, man. But I think it's worth it. You know, it's a special occasion. That boxer style at high level is too much for Pac. Morales, Marquez, Floyd, yeah, is something, man. Marquez was giving him hell. Absolutely Ray Robinson, but behind him, I got Ali. Yep, Pac, Armstrong, not bad, and Chavez, not bad. But the most dangerous fighter of all time was Tyson. Most dangerous fighter of all time was Tyson. Most dangerous fighter of all time. I can't agree with you there, bro. I can't agree with you. Dangerous. I can't agree. I can't agree. I'm gonna tell you some guys who are more dangerous than Tyson. Danger. Julian the Hawk Jackson, probably. Man, that Sugar Ray Robinson was dangerous. You know, he killed a man in the ring. George Foreman. I don't know if Mike Tyson's the most dangerous ever. He's one of them, though. But danger? He's one of them. It's a good argument. He's one of them. But Sugar Ray Robinson, Julian the Hawk Jackson, George Foreman, bro. Bob Foster. There's some Bob Foster. There's some guys, man. Danger? There's some guys, bro. Sonny Liston, more dangerous than Mike. Sonny Liston, more dangerous than Mike. Dangerous. I don't know. I don't. That's a good question. I don't know. You know, Jack Dempsey, another one too. Like MJ, Floyd was extremely fundamentally sound. Michael Jordan was more like raw. He was more free flowing. But fundamentals very high. Floyd was like Tim Duncan. Floyd was more so like Tim Duncan, where he did everything exactly right. He had Shaq struggling. Tim Duncan used to school Shaq, and he was way smaller and everything. He was a power forward. Shaq was a center. They'll put Tim Duncan on Shaq. Should Tim Duncan mess around and DM up? Shaq had the toughest games against Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is the greatest power forward ever. You want to talk about doing everything perfect. Oh, my God. Oh, and here's the thing. I hated Tim Duncan. I couldn't exclude the fact that he was great. But Tim Duncan, boy, he was beating some of my favorite guys, like Shaq. I hated that whole Spurs team. They were just too by the book and too good. Let me see. Inside the ring, no one processed data in real time for instant adjustments better than Floyd. That's a good argument. I can see that. That's the definition of sweet science. Yeah, it is the definition. He is the definition of sweet science. Let me see. Agreed. Hit the Tyson Bale. Floyd is overrated. Here's my thing. My man said Floyd is overrated. But this is the point we're making with Floyd. All right, Floyd is overrated. Here's the point. And here's it's a great conversation, because when you say Pacquiao and Floyd are married, you can't. This is about Manny Pacquiao. We still talking about Floyd. Floyd is overrated. But here's the thing about that. He's also underrated, grossly underrated. See, he is overrated because people put 50 and over everything. They don't know enough about boxing. You know, Roger Mayweather said it best. But he's also underrated because people will say that he's a runner who didn't fight anybody, and everybody he fought had an asterisk. Y'all are haters at that point. So he's grossly underrated. Floyd is just great. He's not the greatest of all time. He's just one of the GOATs. But to say he was nothing is ridiculous. He's one of the GOATs. I still want to see Manny versus Porter, to be honest. Just one more. I don't want to see Manny again in the ring. I want to see him in a suit running for president. Here's the Tyson Bale. Me personally. I ain't got to see it. I've seen too many of them. See, I watched too many of them. Right? I just seen it too many times. I saw Oscar De La Hoya punching the ground after Bernard Hopkins dropped him with a body shot. I saw Bernard Hopkins knock through the ropes. I saw Roy Jones Jr. beat the hell out of Jeff Left Hook Lacey, and then after that, look like he's dead in a ring. He gets hit, hold his head for Danny Green, almost killed him. Okay, I've seen too many of that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Evander Holyfield. Like, please stop, Holyfield, please. I've seen it, and I don't have to keep seeing it. But for a lot of you guys who haven't seen it, one more time, I get it. Right? I do want to say this too. ShowBizz, do you see a difference between an old lion fighting young lions for pride, leadership, and an old lion knowing better and walking away? I don't. You don't see a difference? I see a huge difference. I see a huge difference. I saw a passion that you cannot. I see a huge passion. See, you see it as just pride. I see it as boxing is my life, and I don't know what to do with myself if I'm not fighting. That's a different. It's a lifeline. It's a different thing. Look how I got y'all to give Floyd his. That's a guy who's full of ego. He definitely never watched my channel before, and he think he's responsible. Here's the thing. One of the biggest trolls on here's the thing about Floyd Mayweather. Somebody said if Floyd Mayweather were to have this moment that Manny Pacquiao had, nobody would give him the credit. Wrong. from Canelo on, every time I saw Floyd fight, I was bracing myself for that loss. When Floyd loses, I was bracing myself. Never seen him lose. So from Canelo on, I was bracing myself for Floyd to lose because he's getting older. And I'm like, he's going to lose. But when he does, I'm going to do the slow clap. Floyd never gave us that tear-jerking moment, that heartstring moment. He said, I'm the best ever. He threw money around and all that stuff. But he never went up against that giant where it's just too much for him. Canelo Alvarez wasn't too much for him. The fighter was good. Okay, young kid, he was good. Bigger than him, he was good. But the fight was never too much for him. The fight that was close was Cotto at 154. Cotto bloodied his nose and everything. Maidana too, the first fight. But he never did that thing that said, don't do that, Floyd. Don't do this. Don't do this. Canelo was close when I said don't do this. But he never had that Sugar Ray Leonard versus Hagler after 5 years. What the hell are you doing? Manny Pacquiao signed up to fight Errol Spence. Manny, oh my God. He didn't have that. Ali versus George Foreman. You're going to get killed. He didn't have that. Floyd passive counter style made him a great boxer. The boxing game is big on the stamina game. And he mastered managing. Still lost because Castillo won. Good comment. Good comment. He was a master. I feel you on Floyd, but he waited 6 years for Pac, or Pac waited for him. Floyd was the A side, and Floyd had his demands. And all Floyd wanted was Olympic-style testing. So this would be a forever argument. All right? Well, I don't know why Pac just didn't get the test. Now, he said that he felt that, he felt drained last time blood was taken from him against Eric Morales or something like that, and he just was against that. Okay, whatever it is, though, he took tests after that. So you can have arguments on both sides. I don't blame Floyd for that. I don't blame Floyd or Manny Pacquiao. We end up getting the fight, and Floyd won. When it comes to GOAT arguments, we all need to listen to the GOAT's opponents themselves. Berto explained Floyd IQ best. Listen to the opponents. Yeah, absolutely. Listen to Timothy Bradley talking about Manny Pacquiao. Listen to the people who fought Manny Pacquiao, Algieri. If you're going to listen to the opponents, don't just listen to Floyd's then. When they talk about his blinding speed, his angles, talking about being discouraged, talking about how much his punches hurt. Talk about both. If you're going to do that, you should have had in your comment to listen to Manny's opponent too, and bring up one of Manny's opponents if you were going to say that. Let me see. Listen to Keith Thurman when he talked about Manny Pacquiao. What else we got? Most of these fans are hold on to the past. It's a new generation of boxing. I hear you. So start tuning into the sport. I hear you. Not just tune in for pay-per-views. Good point. Good point. But I'm using this as a tool, right? To make boxing the number one sport in the world again. But good point. Excellent point. Let me see. I've been here for years. Left boxing, ego, and DBN. Oh, okay. Okay. You've been here for years, though. Or maybe you have. El Cole. Yeah, that's a strange. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So then you know where I stand. So stop trolling me, man. You know me all 100%. You sound so bizarre as if you don't know me. Let me see. I watched Pac since elementary, and now I'm married with a 7-year-old kid. I used to, have excitement watching him. Wow. Almost had a heart attack. Yeah. Absolutely. This is what I don't want you guys to do. I don't want you guys to have beef in the community and take that energy and pass it on to me. You know, now you're being a bag lady. You have beef in the community, and then you holler at me and grab that energy towards me when it's not what I'm saying. All right. If you have an argument with somebody else, you deal with that person and then deal with me separately. All right. Don't be a bag lady. I hate when you date a girl and then the girl had an issue with a man who cheated and say, y'all all do that. Man, I ain't do nothing. I went to Hooters to watch the game. Oh, just for the breast. Man, yeah, chicken breast. I went to watch the damn game. It's right up the street. You cheated with one of the like. That's what y'all be doing. You have some beef in somebody else's comments, and you come over here. You hear me say something, and you think that's where I stand. You just put that on me. Like, stop doing that. Hit the time. Stop doing that. Only 8 division champion of all time. Yeah, we all know that. We all know that, bro. We all know that. You don't got to span it. We all know that. We know how great he is. You only have so many wars in you. Facts. James was 100%. Nobody looking at them girls. Can Pacquiao beat Spence in his prime? Can he? Yeah. I said that it would still be a hard fight. I got Manny winning, but I said that'll still be a hard fight. I got Manny winning though. But one of you guys said something. How many fighters did Manny fight at welterweight that would have beaten Errol Spence? That he beat. How many fighters did Manny beat? Natural welterweights that Manny beat that would have beaten Errol Spence when he fought him. And that was such a great question that I said, yeah, Errol Spence would have been a tough fight for Manny even then, but Manny would have beaten him. But I think we don't know now. I'll tell you this though, if that was Errol Spence instead of Ugas, we would have had eyes full of tears. It would have been the saddest thing you've ever seen. I would have been screaming, throw in the damn towel. Hey Biz, your old videos of you acting like Thurman are every time I see Thurman now, I'm thinking about that. Now we went to 2 hours, man. This is the longest one. Is Pac still top 10 of all time? He is to me, Biz. Me too. It just kills me who he has to be over. That's what's killing me. You know, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. There's guys that's been hanging in there for me forever. You want to talk about being stuck in your ways, right? I don't like it. But when you put a new guy and replace a guy in the top 10, that hurts. If you're a boxing pugilist and boxing historian like myself, yeah. But you cannot keep that guy out of there. Manny Pacquiao has done too much. You can't keep him out of there. He's top 10 greatest of all time. You just can't. His impact, his boxing skills, abilities, his career and achievements, you can't keep him out the top 10. You can't. I mean, well, do what you want. I can't. And that bothers me, yes, but I can't. It's great. It's also something to celebrate. Somebody new got in the top 10. It's great. Legs cramps are from dehydration, loss of salt. He overtrained for 6 months for an old man. Yeah. And yeah. And here's another thing. He's just old. He's just old. I'm about to go running after this. I'm about to go jogging after this. All right. I'm going to feel pains after jogging I never felt. All right. So, bro, when you get old, a lot of things happen, man. A lot of things happen. All I did was jog. My lower back killing me. I'm laying on the couch looking at football all day. Hit the Tyson. You feel me? And I'm wondering, when am I going to progress? I'm not. I'm just going to maintain. You get over 40. You start hitting 40, getting over. You're just trying to hold on. Manny Pacquiao was going to train to the point where he rewind the clock like he thought. He'll mess around and break himself down. I'm saying, getting old as hell. Like my mom say, love you, mom. Getting old as hell, baby. She says that all the time. Getting old as hell. All right. I mess around, make jokes with my mom. Like, mom, why you walking like this? Mom tell you, getting old as hell. And you know what? Getting old as hell, and give me the belt. You ain't too old. And you know what? Good joke. Good joke. Give me the belt. Ma, I got kids, a wife. I'm 40. Get the belt. The way Pacman gives boxing fans watch his fights is amazing. Reason why he's one of the GOATs. Yeah, the fact that he was the draw at 42 years old is insane. Love your moms for that. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I brought you in this world. We're going to go another 10 minutes. Make sure, have this go too. But it was a special edition of ShowBizz in the Morning podcast. Thank you guys for showing up. Go to busr.com/ShowBizz. Please build your favorite fights. Don't forget to go to my Instagram. ShowBizz_the_adult. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. We almost at 100,000. And I want to know who's going to be the 100,000th subscriber. I need to know who that is too. That'd be great just to know that. Because I know who my 1,000th subscriber is, and it's my daughter. She did that on purpose. She waited and then she subscribed and became my 1,000th. I would love to know who's my 100,000th subscriber. Let me see. ShowBizz, the best on the tube. Thank you so much. Hit the Tyson Bell. We went to war today. Hey man, stop flooding this, man. This could get you blocked because you're ruining the war room. For the love. Hope you didn't lose the house show. No, I got my money back. Right? So I'm going to explain this again. Everybody, we got a safety net on busr.com. On purpose. If Yordanis Ugas wins by decision, if you bet money on a round on Manny Pacquiao to win in a specific round, so it's called a round bet, like I did, round 9 KO. If Yordanis Ugas wins, you get the money that you bet back. Only busr.com does stuff like that. You got to shout out busr.com for that. I mean, they really care. So that's wonderful. Thank you for showing love to our King Pac. Oh yeah. God bless. Pac versus Craw, Pac versus Prime. Versus Prime. Wait, Pac's Prime. Oh my bad. Who you got? Versus Crawford. I still got Pacquiao. Hell of a fight. I still got. I don't know if anybody today would have beaten Pacquiao in his prime. You know, sometimes you kind of glorify too much guys of your past, so you got to really think about it. But I just don't see the guys. All right, Floyd Mayweather would beat all these guys too. Floyd was spectacular. Manny Pacquiao is spectacular. I don't know if there's any guys here that's super spec like that, right? Crawford is probably the closest welterweight, as close to spectacular as far as skill wise. But I mean, no, man. I mean, blazing speed and just like you never seen anybody like Manny before. You never seen anybody like Floyd before. Those guys are just way too damn great, man. I don't know if any of those guys. I just don't see it. I think it'd be hard fights, but beat him in his prime, the Manny Pacquiao that beat Cotto, though it was at a catch where I'm talking about him, that guy. I don't. No, no. I'm gonna go with no. Let me see. I mean, the guy was so good. There were people that actually thought Manny was going to beat Errol Spence. Actually thought that. Now on August 21st, they thought that he was going to beat him. That's crazy. Pacman versus Freddie. And Freddie duo finally came to an end. Yeah, boy. Huh? My goodness. 140 is his prime, I think. Yeah, but that guy though. Oh, let me see. Okay, 140, Manny Pacquiao against the undisputed Terrence Crawford at 140. I got Manny, bro. Got him. I got Manny. Remember, he was training for Spence. I would overtrain too. That would have been a war. But let me tell you something else, Daniel Smith. Errol Spence overtrained for Manny. See, this is what people aren't taking into account. Those two bullheaded freaks were overtraining for each other. Manny knew that was going to be the hardest fight of his life because he's 42 years old, undersized against that ridiculous fighter, and Errol the True Spence in this prime. Okay. But the thing is, Errol the True Spence respected Manny so much and the moment so much that he overtrained too. He was sparring too much before the fight. The fight was like less than 2 weeks out. What are you doing sparring? And then boom, slight torn retina. You don't do that. What are you doing sparring? He was overtraining. That's why you didn't get much from Errol. He was so focused and quiet. You was hearing more from Manny. This moment meant everything for Errol. He overtrained too. He didn't want to just win. He wanted to crush him. And then boom. Yordanis Ugas didn't even train for Manny and beat him. Pac and Mayweather in their prime are too good that they would beat anyone in the welterweight division right now. Yeah. Pac versus May prime versus prime. Who you got? Yeah, I got May. I was saying that earlier. I think Mayweather would have always beaten Pacquiao. Just bigger, longer, stronger, and his reflexes were probably better. I'm not sure if he was faster, but his reflexes were better. Like just his technique with his strength and what he did, how he cleared his punches out, and then just his game playing, his chess, his mastery in the ring. He did I think Floyd is one of the better technicians. He's one of the better advanced. I keep calling him advanced because he was doing stuff that is way more advanced than everybody else, right? So I think he would have always beat him. There are guys who I think would have beaten Floyd for sure. I think Sweet Pea Whitaker would have beaten Floyd, and I think a prime Oscar De La Hoya could have, because an old Oscar De La Hoya was a split decision. I think Duran would have. I think Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson, I think those guys would have. There's guys that I think would have beaten Floyd. Wilfred Benitez probably would have beaten him, man. I got Wilfred. There's guys, but most guys wouldn't have beaten him. I think Tommy Hearns would have beaten him too. But but most guys wouldn't have. You got to be very, very, very good. And which Manny was. But the way Floyd fought Manny, because I think Duran would have beat Manny. I think Sugar Ray Leonard would have beat Manny. I think Sugar Ray Robinson would have beat Manny. I think Tommy Hearns would have beat Manny Pacquiao. Feel what I'm saying? So it's not just a Floyd thing. I think Sweet Pea Whitaker would have beaten Manny Pacquiao. Good fight, though. Good fight. Because Sweet Pea is more willing to trade. But he would have beaten Manny, though. So though they're right there with each other, but I think Floyd would have always beaten him. I do. Though I think Manny Pacquiao is greater. Best footwork is Pacquiao. Best reflexes. See, but footwork is different. Manny Pacquiao had more athletic feet. But footwork, foot placement, where you position yourself, man, Floyd will make you miss and hit the ropes, right? Make a young Canelo Alvarez, 22, 23 damn years old, swing and hit the ropes. I don't know. Footwork is weird. It's weird. Athletic feet and angles, that Lomachenko type, Manny, it's weird. I don't know. It's if you want to give Manny Pacquiao the edge on footwork, fine. But footwork that's a strange thing, right? That's why when people talk about Errol Spence's footwork, I say be careful, because Errol Spence always in position. That punch that he hit Sean Porter with that dropped him, that wasn't his punch. That was his feet. He put himself perfect to catch him on that trade. It was his positioning with his feet. Errol's feet are fantastic, but they're not athletic. You got to be careful when you got to be. The best way I can put this is this. Michael Vick has great feet, obviously, as a quarterback. But were his feet better than Dan Marino? Really? Dan Marino had feet in the pocket to put that pass on the money. Vick could jump in and out and run, right? And score, jump over everybody, was athletic. But Dan Marino avoid the sack, still in the pocket, bam. So Floyd Mayweather avoid this punch, still in the pocket, bam, right hand. Where Manny was pop, 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 pop. You know what I mean? So it's difficult. It's difficult. Now I think it's getting educated feet, dangerous. Yeah, absolutely. Dan has screws in his knees. Who? Yeah, I agree. You get what I'm saying? De La Hoya was 34. Yeah. Not just a little bit out of his prime, especially with his wars. You need active feet to beat Floyd. I'm not sure how active Castillo's feet was. You need pressure to beat Floyd. That's why I say Henry Armstrong would beat the hell out of Floyd. You need relentless pressure with good hand movement to beat Floyd, right? I remember people asking me, that whole question, would Mike Tyson have beaten Floyd at welterweight? He would have creamed Floyd at welterweight if they were both welterweight fighters. If Mike Tyson, his style was a natural welterweight, if he was 147, that style destroys Floyd, right? I think Henry Armstrong, the relentless pressure with the head movement would and the busyness just would beat Floyd. He would out-busy him. That's why I think Duran would beat Floyd. It's a boxing pressure. You can't just be a pressure. You can't be like a tank. Floyd kick your ass. But I'm talking about you got to be good pressure, and then smother him and hit him with some hard shots and then be rough with him. You can beat Floyd that way. Aaron Pryor would beat Floyd. See, Aaron Pryor throws those combinations. His head was in the I don't know if Aaron Pryor, that's a good fight. I don't know if that's a good fight. But I'm saying chin tucked, Ewan earmuffs, ripping hard shot. Now, Aaron Pryor was busy. He was like a tornado. He was like Hurricane Carter. But Floyd can probably negate that with some hard shots, like pop. And I'm talking about Floyd that still has some sting. Shoot a jab to the body, bam, right hand, and slow all that shit up. And then Aaron Pryor, now he's not in his bag, and Floyd's not there. He could throw a bunch. The way Aaron Pryor punch, Floyd, that's a good fight, though. It's a good fight because Aaron punched damn hard. Aaron Pryor punched hard. It's a good fight. All right, thank you guys for showing up. Put in 2 hours. Got to talk to the wifey, spend time with the family. ShowBizz the adult. Maybe take my run. Thank you guys for showing up. Fantastic live stream. Hit the like button on your way out. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit the Tyson bell. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for showing out. Manny Pacman Pacquiao, top 10 greatest fighter of all time, in my opinion. One of the greatest ever. I'm out. Fantastic conversation, too. A lot of knowledge here. Thank you so much.